Hello everyone, this is Chief Meteorologist George Lessons. We're going to be getting started here momentarily, and we'll run through some of what's going to be happening for Halloween. And if you follow along, I'll probably answer 99% of your questions that you're going to be asking me. But we welcome all comments in the comment section. I have those scrolling up on my screen here, and we will talk about what's coming up here in the next 24 hours, our real first storm of the season. So welcome everyone out there in Facebook land. We're going to be talking about the scary weather that's coming up here on Halloween. I remember something like this back in 1994 when my kids headed out and did some trick-or-treating on a night that's going to be very similar to this one without the snow. We had a lot of rain that year. My kids came home with 18 pounds worth of candy because it was definitely a nasty Halloween. Well, let's get moving on here and talk about what's actually coming in our direction. We've got a very scary forecast coming up all the way around. This is what it's going to look like here during the day tomorrow. Most of the day we'll have rain. Be nice, I guess, better for the trick-or-treaters if it was rain in the evening, but right around 5 o'clock or so, it is going to change to all snow here in the Grand Rapids area, and by the time the trick-or-treaters are done, it will be over. The snow will be over. It's just terrible, bad timing. So your trick-or-treat forecast, this is pretty much for everyone here in West Michigan. It's not going to vary anywhere along the lakeshore up north. Temperatures are going to be in the mid-30s. There'll be snow falling. It'll feel like more like the mid-20s with that northwest wind. That's not windy, that's just breezy, but it is certainly not going to be very nice for the ballerina costumes out there. This is what's happening throughout the day. This is everywhere. Rain and a little bit of snow early in the day up north, but by late in the afternoon, around 4 or 5 o'clock, it will change over to all snow and it'll be widespread. 80 to 100% of the area will be seeing that precipitation. If you are driving or doing any kind of transporting the kids from one place to another, or maybe just going to work or coming home from work, you're going to run into some issues. Tonight, up to the north, Mason Lake and Osceola counties, Oceana County, winter weather advisory going into effect at 2 a.m. And that's going to last until Friday morning at 8 a.m. That's going to be because of the falling snow. Later on tomorrow afternoon, from those counties southward all the way down to Ottawa, Kent, and Montcalm counties, winter weather advisory goes into effect at 2 p.m. So that's right in the heart or the beginning of the trick-or-treating, again lasting through 8 o'clock in the morning on Friday. Winter weather alerts, first winter weather advisory of the year. We have 3 categories. The winter weather advisory is in the middle. You certainly want to be taking some sort of action, whether it's slowing down, deciding to do errands at a different time of day, as this will have low to moderate impacts all around West Michigan, traveling or otherwise. You're not going to have to do any shoveling. This is our model forecast. Wanted to take you through the entire West Michigan forecast before we get to your questions here. Appreciate all of everybody tuning in. Between now and 11 o'clock, all that green there, that is all rain. So find yourself on this map if you know where you live, and that'll explain when the rain and snow will come and when it will end in your area. This is during the night tonight. You see that blue area and the little bit of pink? That's all snow or a mixture of rain and snow. It kind of comes all the way down from Mount Pleasant all the way down to the lakeshore to around Holland. We'll have a rain episode here in Grand Rapids, at least for your morning commute. And if you're heading south and east tomorrow, it'll be all rain. So if you're traveling to Detroit, Ohio, any of those places, you will just have wet roads. During the day tomorrow, up till about the 2 o'clock period, the rain will change, the snow will change to rain just about everywhere. So even if there is a little bit of snowy accumulation from Holland, Muskegon northward, it'll probably melt. It'll just be wet or maybe just a little bit slushy on the ditches at 2 o'clock. But then it does change back over to snow starting about 5 o'clock, and you can see it envelops everywhere except for the areas up north with snow, and this will be accumulating, so the roads are going to be a little tough to get around tomorrow evening. And then by 11 o'clock, pretty much all of the snow is done here in West Michigan, and we actually see a little bit of clearing. And right now, Friday is looking pretty good, although we'll see some clouds roll in by late in the day. I'm going to talk rain, how much and where. You can see where the green is, that means everyone's going to see rain overnight tonight with a little bit of snow to the north. During the day tomorrow, how many people are going to get rain? Raise your hands. Yep, just about everyone. Heaviest amounts will be to the south and east, where it will be all rain during the day tomorrow. Lansing, Detroit, that'll be all rain. Tomorrow evening, the rain and whatever's left of the snow is done. And on Friday, of course, nothing at all. So we'll get a chance to see the snow melt if there is any. Maybe a little bit of rain up around Ludington by the end of the day. And of course, that all-important snow forecast. This is how much will be falling, not accumulating. This is how much will be falling. Holland to Mount Pleasant, up to the north. That's where you're going to see the white ground, perhaps. Maybe up to an inch in Fremont, northern Newaygo County through Big Rapids. That's up to an inch. And then we'll see a little bit more tomorrow afternoon and tomorrow evening. You notice the snowfall amounts for Grand Rapids, less than an inch, even less than that, with the higher impacts to the north of Grand Rapids. And then by the end of the day, this is overnight tomorrow night into Friday morning, there'll be a little bit of snow over toward Lansing, Howell, Pontiac, and Ann Arbor. But again, by the end of that, we will be seeing much better weather. So I'm going to take a look at some of the questions and hopefully answer some of those as we look at what's going on. Anyway, Orlo, thanks. Good to see you. Let's see. Karen says, I'll be working, so I don't need to worry until I'm headed home at 9:30. Well, it will still be a little sloppy because the snow will have just come from an end there. I'm going to scroll up and see if there's any more that I can answer. Let's see. Bring it on, Michigan. Yes, Amy, bring it on. It is that time of year. Crystal says, I like the fluffy snow, hate the wet stuff coming, don't we all? Let's see, Melody says, travel from Ohio to Michigan tomorrow will be okay. I guess the earlier, the better. You'll just have rain all day. Sue says, no snow. Well, unfortunately, yes, we've got snow. By the way, we did end up with a 0.2 of an inch of snow this morning out at the airport in Grand Rapids. That measurable snow was a little bit earlier than our typical snowfall. We usually get our first measurable on average on November 6th, so we're about a week ahead. Our first trace of snow comes on October, I want to say the 20th or so. Well, at least that was last year anyway. So we were about 10 days late with our first snowflakes in the air. Nicole, you said Friday morning. Everything should be fine by then. Temperatures are going to stay above freezing during this entire event, but where there is snow that does accumulate, of course, it will be slippery. But again, a lot of this rain will be, a lot of this snow will be melting as it does fall. Good question about the wind speeds. I know there's a lot of other forecast outlets that are calling for windy conditions. Our threshold for what we call windy is 20 to 25 mile per hour winds. That will not happen until most of the trick-or-treaters are done here tomorrow evening. I can see right at the lake shore, it might be a little bit breezy or windy. I'm seeing wind gusts there on our map here. I'm going to show you that. Right here is showing around 25 to 30 miles an hour. That's right at the lake shore. Inland, they'll be around 15 to 20. That's what we call breezy. It will be a breezy evening for the kids as well. Not that great. Martin asks, how much is northern Michigan getting? Since that's outside of our viewing area, I really don't have any idea. They are certainly going to get the effects from this as well. Let's see. Amanda says, I'm not ready. We've had fall for 2 seconds. Pretty much. Is it going to look like a snowy November? Not at the moment. This is just unusual for this time of year. After we get through this weekend, I don't see any major systems coming on through. In fact, our long-range outlook is calling for higher chances for dry weather the second week of November. It is going to stay on the cool side, but right now we don't see any major storms coming through with any snow for the first couple of weeks of November. Of course, that could always change. Again, this event is going to be occurring with temperatures at or above freezing the entire event. So what precipitation does fall is going to be melting. It may not be melting as fast as it's falling, and that's why we get accumulation. So once again, yeah, there you go. It's all about how fast it comes down and how fast it can melt. Let's see, anything else? When is the rain going to start? When is the rain going to end, and when the snow is going to start? Kristen, all depends on where you live. It'll change over depending on your actual location. If you are up north, it will change over to snow overnight tonight while you're sleeping, and this is what it will look like when you wake up in the morning. It will be snowing from Holland up to Mount Pleasant, raining off to the south and east of there. So at some point, if you're living up north, the rain will change to snow tonight. If you're living down to the south and east, it will not be going to be snowing until tomorrow night. Comstock Park checking in. Jonathan, absolutely. Kristen, awesome. Fremont, well, you're going to see snow tonight, back to rain tomorrow, back to snow tomorrow afternoon and evening. And David's checking in from Delray Beach, Florida. David, yeah, thanks. Thanks for rubbing it in. Awesome. Yeah, we could be down there. At least we don't get hurricanes up here. All right, hopefully everybody put their winter weather stuff in their car already. I have my snow brush in there already. I have to go get new tires tomorrow for my other car. So hopefully that will be winter ready by the end of the day. And there are a lot of leaves on the trees. Yes, you are correct, Lori. There will be some issues with some of the windy conditions along the lake shore. I can't imagine that much of it is going to stick to the trees. This is not a terribly heavy snowfall. Nonetheless, it does stick to a lot of stuff, including leaves. I think it's just going to bring the leaves down, and that will relieve the stress on the actual branches. With all the wind we've had this month of October, I can't imagine there are a lot of limbs left to come down that haven't already come down. So there's a possibility there could be some power outages, but I do not know that it's going to be anywhere near as widespread as I've been led to believe by some of the other media outlets. Let's see, Deanne, you must have just joined. Snow in Muskegon. At some point, yes, you can see it right there on the map. That is snow at 7 a.m. April, the same thing. Lori says, driving from Grand Haven to Duluth, Minnesota on Saturday. Snow, question mark. Let's see, on Saturday. No, you will be just fine. There'll be some, there might be a little bit of snow up in northern Wisconsin. That's a little system coming through late Friday night, but not on Saturday. That's going to give us some lake effect as well. Martin says, yeah, that's a long drive. What's in Duluth? Ah, there you go. Any more questions that you might have? I know this is our first kind of real winter weather event. It's almost typical weather for Michiganders. It's just coming at the wrong time for Halloween and the trick-or-treaters out there. I know how those the kids love to be out there and show off their costumes, and I love greeting them at the door as well, but again, the weather is not going to be the best. Let's see. Do you want me to recap for you? Let me know. Give me a thumbs up. Give me some hearts there if you want me to do one more time through the forecast, and then we will wrap things up. I see a wow kind of thing there. So let's do that. I'm going to start right off from the top again. We do have the rain and snow mix. Coming in, rain here in Grand Rapids during the morning hours. By evening, it will all be snow. Again, temperatures are going to stay above freezing for this entire event, but the snow will be sticking for a while, Rhonda, over in Muskegon. Good to see you, Rhonda. And it will be in the mid-30s. That is snow melting temperature again. As we get closer to the event, if the snow falls faster than it can melt, yes, there will be sticking snow. It all depends on how warm the ground is. Again, winds will be northwest at 17. We consider that breezy, not windy, but it will nonetheless feel like the mid-20s as the trick-or-treaters head on out. Other than that, this is the Grand Rapids and most of West Michigan forecast during the day tomorrow. You'll have rain or snow for your morning commute. Snow to the north, rain here in Grand Rapids through the middle of the afternoon. So as the kids head home from school, they're going to need their wet weather gear. As you head home from work late in the afternoon, that rain is going to quickly change over to snow, and that's the reason why not only for the winter weather advisories up north late tonight, it's also going to be down to the south starting after about 2 o'clock in the afternoon, just in time for all the kids to do what they need to do. Juanita, take a look at how Holland is going to look here very quickly. Winter weather advisory means low to moderate impacts from the wintry weather. And here's what's going to happen. Juanita, look at Holland there on the map. You're going to have rain this evening. Later on tonight, after about 2 o'clock in the morning, watch that green go to blue. That is snow on our gauge up there, and it will be snowing as you head out the door in the morning, anywhere along US 31, M37 northward, US 31 northward. Once you get out of Kent County, there'll be snow falling, and that will fall until about late morning, midday. It'll be all rain by 2 o'clock in the afternoon, so it'll have a chance for that snow to melt if there's any that does accumulate. And then as we get into the evening hours, this is 5 o'clock in the evening. Notice still all the green, that's all rain. But watch that snow come on down into the early evening hours. That's all snow there, just blankets all of West Michigan, with the exception right at the lake shore. And then by 11 o'clock, it is pretty much done. Just a few lingering flurries. The winds do start to pick up out of the west and northwest. At the lake shore, they'll be up around 20 miles an hour. Again, that's still breezy on borderline windy. Just not a very nice evening. And then some Friday sunshine. Should be dry for the most part until very late in the evening. Up around Ludington, there might actually be some light rain at the end of Friday. Overnight tonight, look at how much green is on there. That means everyone is going to get wet. Either rain or melting snow. 100% of the area tomorrow. Rain. Even some heavier rain to the east, south, and east, maybe a half an inch or more. To the north, that's mostly melted snow, and this right here is tomorrow evening. Going to be done by 11 o'clock, and of course nothing coming up here during the day on Friday. That's good news. Snowfall again, find out where you live. You can see there'll be snow enough to accumulate on the ground from Holland and northwest Kent County to Mount Pleasant. Some spots up around Fremont, Big Rapids, maybe around an inch or so. All depends again on how quickly it melts. And then a little bit more tomorrow afternoon and evening. The bulk of the snow tomorrow evening will be as it gets colder, and that'll affect the areas to the east and southeast of Grand Rapids because it'll be done by 11 o'clock here in Grand Rapids. So there again, that's the recap of our winter weather scenario for this time of year. If I remember last Halloween in Grand Rapids, it was in the 50s. That's Skip, absolutely. It was 57, although we had about 1/3 of an inch of rain. I think it ended just before trick-or-treating time last time. And the year before that, 2017, we had snow. So this is not the first, nor will it be the last time we have snow on Halloween. Just to remember that if you are going to be out, drive much more carefully and make sure your kids have at least some kind of visible apparel on so they can actually be seen and by other drivers out there. Other than that, just enjoy your Halloween, and we will make sure that we bring you more information if we get it. If there's going to be any changes, I don't think that will be the case. But again, we'll have the very latest details coming up tonight at 11 on 13 on Your Side late night. So in the meantime, enjoy your Wednesday evening, and we'll hope for the best for Thursday. Thanks for joining us.